Greetings! Welcome to Sunday Morning Announcements with the Emma Rutherford Avatar. If you're here with us on Facebook or YouTube, please subscribe to get notifications when we have new videos. If you're with us on Zoom, say hi in the chat. We'd love to say hello back. If you're here with us in person, hello everybody here. And if this is your first time, please sign the guest book either in the lobby or online at oakcliffuu.org/guest. Our service theme for July is Covenant, and Renée Brill takes the pulpit this Sunday via Zoom with a timely message on how there is no freedom without accountability. We hope you can stick around after the service today for Talkback, where we gather in a circle and discuss the service and related topics. For those online, see the Zoom chat at the end of the service for meeting information. Adult Religious Exploration with Sarah Rickey continues with UU Who's Who, a look at UU history makers. Join us in person at 11:15 at the Hope Library or on Zoom. This week features Beatrix Potter, writer, illustrator, natural scientist, and conservationist. Don't forget, we have a new meeting schedule for the Coordinating Council and Worship Ministry. The combined meeting is at 1 p.m. on the first and third Sundays of the month in person and online. That's today, in Charity North and on Zoom at tinyurl.com/uucoc-cc-first. And it's open to all. The Social Justice Ministry Reading Group, which meets online Thursdays at 7:30 p.m., will be starting a new book soon. Watch for details. Questions? Email Mavis at sjm@oakcliffuu.org.
Excuse me for interrupting, Emma. Here's the Kathy Gray Avatar with late-breaking news. There had been some talk about changing the date of the Labyrinth Walk Coffee House Jazz Jam. However, for now, it remains the second Sunday of the month, and that will be next Sunday. So, all are invited to play, sing, or just kick back and enjoy some wonderful live jazz, 3 to 5 p.m., Sunday, July 14th, in the sanctuary. Feel free to bring food and drink for yourself or to share. Just nothing harder than beer or wine, please. Admission is free, but there is a tip jar for the musicians.
Note that our pledge drive continues. Our target is $7,000 monthly in pledges to support our congregation. Your commitment will make a meaningful difference and ensure sustainability of our programs and services. So show us some love. Join us in the collective effort by pledging today. Just go to oakcliffuu.org/pledge2024 or scan this QR code. Keep watching your eBlast newsletter for more info on this and more. Not receiving the eBlast? Just sign up at oakcliffuu.org/enews. It's that easy. Have you signed up but still aren't getting the eBlast? As our tech guy Scott says, don't forget to check your spam folder. And make sure that news at oakcliffuu.org is in your contacts. One more thing. A big thank you to all who helped make our clothing swap a huge success. It was great fun to find new clothes and see old clothes find new homes. We donated everything that was left to Out of the Closet Thrift Store in Dallas, a nonprofit organization supporting AIDS and HIV prevention and treatment services. You can still support this project by donating online at oakcliffuu.org/donate and specifying Share the Plate when you donate. That's it for now. I hope you all have a great week.
Deep calls unto deep. Joy calls unto joy. Light calls unto light. Let the kindling of this flame rekindle in us the inner light of love, of peace, of hope, and as one flame lights another, nor grows the less, we pledge ourselves to be bearers of the light, wherever we are.
Opening words. Love is the Center and Foundation by Sherry Woodbury. Again, we reground ourselves here in our highest values.
Love is the center and foundation of this faith.
Love is the power that holds us together as a community.
As we enter into worship, then let us open our heart to the healing power of liberating love.
Because love is not only something we receive, but something we practice in community.
Let fall away all that might distract us from the wholehearted practice of love.
Let us be accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love.
As we continue to listen and learn to act and grow,
may each unfold in wholeness,
both deeply loving and truly loved.
We would be one as now we join in singing our hymn of love to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true. We would be one in living for each other, to show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow, a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service, with love and justice strive to make us free.
In our community, we take time each week to share what is in our hearts and on our minds. If your heart is heavy today, know that you don't have to carry that heartache alone. Together, we can offer comfort. Please share your sorrows publicly by posting them in the Zoom chat, or send them to our Facebook Messenger, or speak them aloud.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
We also share our joys with one another, knowing that joy calls unto joy, amplified. Together, our voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. Please share your joys publicly by posting them to the Zoom chat, or send them to our Facebook Messenger, or speak them aloud. Welcome to the UU Church of Oak Cliff. Here, we seek to build a community where what you believe is less important than how your beliefs guide and inform your participation in the world. Ours is a community that strives to value the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. To our returning visitors, we are happy you have joined us So happy you have joined us again. We know your time is precious, and we're honored to have you here today. We would also like to extend a warm welcome to any who are joining us for the first time. We recognize the bravery it takes to come into a new place, and we're glad you're here. Ours is a covenantal church, Latin for come together. Covenant means a solemn agreement or promise from the heart regarding a course of action between parties. The practice of promising to walk together is the core of our faith. Simply put, it is a guide for the behavior we expect from ourselves and each other. We are bound together by the promises we make to one another, and we recite our covenant during every worship service. Because we love one another, we honor each individual's spiritual journey. We celebrate life's abundance in service to each other, our community, and the world. We connect with each other in love, respect, and acceptance. Thus do we covenant together. Porque nos amamos uno al otro, honramos el viaje espiritual de cada individuo. Celebramos la abundancia de la vida en el servicio a entre sí, nuestra comunidad y el mundo. Ponemos en contacto a unos con otros en el amor, respeto y aceptación. Así que hacemos pacto.
I want to start a fire. I want to tear down walls. I want to hit things with sledgehammers. I want to destroy, to dismantle, to tear out by the root. I want to run. I want to hide. I want to scream. I want to fight. This week, the Supreme Court gave the President of the United States the power of a king, among other things. It dismantled power everywhere else in the executive branch, the ability to uphold labor laws, the ability to secure that there's safe labor conditions, make sure that there's clean water and clean air and a future worth having for our children. Today we have a king. And I have been waking up every day to find that violence is waiting in my body like a coiled spring. And before I go get my kiddo, before I do church work, before I say good morning to my husband, I have to tend to that fury and hate. I have to tend to it so that that fierce energy can be put to a task that does more than destroy, but also so that that fire does not consume me. And I don't think that I am the only one who feels like that right now. And I thought I would share what I am holding on to so that I can hold on to myself, so that I can direct that energy towards a purpose that it suits, and so that I can find a way forward. The first thing that I try to remind myself is that this feeling is new for me, or newer for me, because it has been growing for a while. But there are very many people in this nation and in this land called Turtle Island for whom the United States government has always been able to break its own laws, has always been able to deny protection, to deny freedom, to deny security, to ignore unlistened, to break treaties, to end lives. There are so many people in this nation of ours for whom that is the oldest of news. And have consistently raised up hope from among themselves, have learned how to protect one another, to feed one another, have learned how to give one another hope and security and life-affirming joy and justice. Learned to band together, to speak loudly, and learned resilience. And so, however much my anxiety-driven body might like to run, it's really not an option. Not ethically, anyway. It is also worth remembering that violence is not effective. And that might sound cold and calculating, and it is. I'm not morally a pacifist. I am practically a pacifist. We become what we practice. What we rehearse is how the show will go. And that means that peace cannot be built with murder. Peace can only be built on relationships of trust and accountability. And that is the work that is ahead of us. There are very many people that I have seen online saying to vote, and that is true. It is absolutely necessary to vote, but it is not sufficient. It is not enough. It's not enough for a number of reasons. But regardless of who wins this next presidential election, any student of history will tell you that no one with power surrenders it easily. President after president of the United States has increased the power of that office. Past presidents have practically ruled the country by policy decisions and executive orders, not litigation, not through the legislature, because we know that there are no real healthy and effective relationships in our legislatures right now. So our job is to build those relationships. Our job is to organize. The saying is, don't mourn, organize, which I think is not exactly right. It's a good slogan, but organizing is a great way to mourn. We have to prepare to march, to strike, to sit in, to feed each other, to protect each other, regardless of who our next president is. And I say that because I don't know that either of the men running for presidents are more likely to use their king-like powers against our enemies or against protesters, college students asking either not to be murdered by the police or asking for our schools and governments to stop funding the genocide in Palestine. It certainly feels as though we have lost our ability to hold our own government accountable. And however much it might feel like that, the reality is that we are far more powerful than we know. Reverend Tyler has said, and I keep reminding and holding to what he has said, that we will know freedom in this generation when we know how truly strong we are. And so I am remembering protests of success. I am remembering small grassroots movements that have shut down world trade organizations, that have stood their ground for labor laws while being bombed by their own government. And the truth is that when we band together, when we have that relationship of knowing that I am here for you and you are here for me, and I know I will never be free while you are not. When you have that in your bones, when that is what you wake up with in the morning, is I know I will not be free while you are not. That has taken our people so far, and it will take us farther still. Striking, withholding our purchases in our consumer economy, refusing to work, period, or refusing to work for companies that are unethical, showing up outside of corporate headquarters with signs and picketing, these things get action. Direct action gets the goods. You don't have to be violent to be inconvenient, to interrupt what is happening. There are two books that I am working on rereading now. The first is Active Hope. The revised edition, How to Face the Mess We're In with Unexpected Resilience and Creative Power by Joanna Macy and Chris Johnstone. The second is The Empowerment Manual, A Guide for Collaborative Groups by Starhawk. Starhawk's book is based around her work and experience helping to shut down the World Trade Conference in Seattle. And Active Hope is based around a principle that hope is most real when we are taking specific action to move toward our hopes and our dreams. And that's what we are doing. It's what we're doing here. And it is a call that I am starting to hear echoed in more and more places. As more and more people are coming to realize that we are the grown-ups in the room who are asked to solve this problem. That we are the ones who are responsible to hold our government accountable. And we can. So I hope as I go through my list of hopeful things that when I get to the end of my recitation, that raging inferno that I wake up with is small enough to be held in a chalice, is small enough to be a light of hope, to burn bright and to light the other candles that are being held out. Asking how we make a way out of no way. Asking where do we go from here? We go there together. We go to freedom together. That's where we're going. And I won't go there without you. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our you. Good morning, y'all.
In the spring of 2021, UUCOC added a second covenant to our weekly worship service. Our Widening the Circle of Concern, that is WCOC work, takes its name from an in-depth UUA study that was published in 2020 and with which we have been actively engaged ever since. The words of this covenant are in your order of service and will also appear on the screen behind me. We, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Oak Cliff, commit ourselves to the studying and dismantling of racism and oppression within our congregation. We commit our congregation and ourselves to the work of anti-racism and anti-oppression. We commit ourselves to listening, to learning, and to action. When we fail, we commit ourselves to trying again and again. We covenant to begin this work and to continue until all of us can truly say that we are a beloved community of justice, equity, and compassion. The gifts you make to our weekly offering or through your annual pledge represent far more than lines on a spreadsheet. Your contributions are tangible commitments to the mission and vision of this congregation. Members, if you are contributing cash towards your pledge, please use an envelope from the basket and write your name on it. To text your donation, see the number on your order of service. And for more options, see oakcliffuu.org/donate.
Closing words by Eric Williams, May you be filled. May you be filled with the blessings of this covenanted community. May you carry them with you as you depart from here. May you discover the places in the world where these blessings are needed. May you have the courage to share them. May there be an open place within you to receive the blessings of the people whom you will meet along the way.
Be true, be well, be loving. We leave this gathered community, but we don't leave our connection, our concerns, our care for each other, our service to each other, to the world, and to our faith continues. Be strong, be well, be true, be loving. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Extinguimos esta llama para no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.